Test. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcoming to a little Wednesday evening operations to the Great White Canadian North. Headed up to Canada, up to Calgary today in an airline we've never flown on the channel before. I thought it had an interesting looking livery, and we were going to fly the PMDG 737, but Bluebird decided to send me a little surprise. So we are actually going to be taking the 767 up to Calgary today. A first look, first preview of the Bluebird 767 in sim. So remember, the textures aren't final, the model is not final, but we are going to be taking a look at some very special things that are not in a 767. They're in a 737NG from PMDG. Okay, I had to get somebody. If I got you, hit the like button. We are taking the 737NG in flare mode up to the Great White Canadian North. There she is in all her glory. Thought I'd control you there a little bit there. Hit the like button for Bluebird. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I got somebody, but I think some people got fooled for that one. But no, we're back in the NG. We're rocking and rolling, like I said, up to Calgary. Fun flight. Shouldn't about the same amount of time as yesterday. Hour 55 or so en route, and the weather is looking fine. Real time live weather, and I just ran some takeoff data numbers that said we're overweight by 200 pounds. So we're gonna have to do something about that, and I think we're doing a flaps 15 departure and packs off, so should be interesting. Hopefully we get off the ground. Anyway, let's rock and roll. Full flap sim is in the house. Hide your wife, hide your kids. Full flap sim is in the house. He's gonna be trolling the whole time. Here we go. Jesse's in here. Al W, what's up, my man? Good to see you. Delta Tango, good to see you as well. Twiff Osp, Mr. Martini 549, Osco Sick, Mike 85. Team Vodka, what's up, man? Hey, let me know what you think about that profile. So I went back to my profile that I've been using for the Boeing, for the Brunner yoke, and you let me know what you think of that one, my friend. Let's see who else. Sam is in the house. Sam, dude, I'm so happy to hear the news, man. If I won't say anything, but I'm super stoked. If you want to let people know, let people know. But dude, it's gonna be awesome. You're gonna have a great time, and best part about it is you're gonna be staying at the HQ. I'm gonna be staying at the HQ, so we'll have to get together and grab a beer, man. So super happy for you, man. Mickey G in the house. Good to see you as well, buddy. Hope all is well, and I hope you're enjoying your Twin Peaks and doing the Lord's work out there, training our finest military aviators. Captain Sim, thank you for the $2 super chat as well. That's a load of BS simulations. I've ever heard one. Hey, Captain Sim, come on. I had to get somebody, right? Takeoff bump, not a thing. Diabetic lad, I don't know. I think we got 26K, I think is the max we got on this puppy. So I think we'll set it up and we should be fine. But yeah, we're going to have to find out together if we get off the ground. So they won't be the finest if Mickey G is training them. That's true. Well, say this. It's better than if you were training them, right? AJ Fernari, thank you for the $3 super chat. Overweight? How have you not hit the angel? You've not hit angel food. Dude, I miss angel food, AJ. But I did have a cookie here just before the stream. So the wife decided to take me to a beagle farm. And we looked at puppies today, and we have to make some decisions, and I needed a cookie. So I did have a cookie. I didn't have an angel food donut, but I did have a cookie before the stream. So hopefully that'll carry me through the evening here, a little bit of a sugar high. So thanks, AJ, for the $3 super chat. 2 peaks. My new thing is 3 peaks. 3 peaks, Mickey G. I think we're going to have to go back. 3 peaks. How are you getting 3 peaks? I don't believe you. All right. 2 more months and we hit that 1 year mark. Hey, Jesse, man. That's awesome, man. Yeah, right at the end of the year. Should be good. Well, who's ready to not forget the before takeoff checklist? I've been looking at some more flows, doing some more stuff. Again, we're going through the training process together. I do want to clarify something here because you guys keep hammering me on it. No, we're not going to sit there just yet, I don't think. Overhead switches, engine start, auto for ignitions.
Check.
Callie Simmer.
Did you hear the great news? Starbucks came back with the eggnog latte. 5
What?
years. Yummy. Lol.
Callie Simmer, I did not hear the news. I will have to check it out. I have a miso latte next to me right now, which is, it may sound interesting, but it is absolutely fantastic for my local coffee shop. But I will be all over the eggnog latte. I do love eggnog. I will have to give that a shot. Thank you so much for the $10 bank angle check. Callie Simmer, always a pleasure to see you. Hope all is well out there on the West Coast. Hope you have a wonderful holiday season. And again, always a pleasure to have you on stream. Thank you for the $10 bank angle check. Blackbird Controls is also here. Appreciate the 10 gifted memberships. We're rocking and rolling with the Blackbird Controls throttle levers once again. I have been trying to set up my sim here with my Throttletek on my left side, but I just can't do it yet. So yeah, we're rocking Blackbird Controls for the Honeycomb Bravo, which holiday season. If you want to get something for your sim, make sure you shout them out and let Blackbird Controls know. Something just dropped somewhere. Hold on a sec. I don't know. I heard noises. I don't know what that was all about. But anyway, thank you so much, Blackbird. I appreciate you, man. Very, very kind. It's going to be coming in handy here as I transition to the right seat, because I think Blackbird, I might end up putting my Bravo on the left side of my desk. Good thing the Honeycomb Bravo has functional, or the Blackbird levers have the functional buttons on both sides, right? So independently bound. So that's actually going to come into play here. All right. But what I was saying, everyone keeps talking about ignition switches. So on our particular fleet, the ones that are equipped with auto, we leave them in auto. So you guys can stop the commenting. I keep getting like 50 comments a stream. Start switches to continuous. Like, no. But hey, we're going to learn together. So let's get this thing powered up. Let's go. No more messing around. So first thing we're going to check is the flight forms and emergency equipment, circuit breakers, all that good stuff will come back here. And we got the captain's jacket in here. Again, there's no FO jacket because nobody cares about the first officer, but we got the captain's jacket in there. Make sure you check everything, read all your bulletins, make sure you are in compliance. And then we're going to come up here and we're going to start the power on checklist. So to power up the aircraft, we're going to go ahead and get the battery switch on. Make sure standby power is closed. Alternate flap lever is closed and guarded. We're going to make sure the electric hydraulics are off. We got gear lever down with 3 green lights. And then we can go ahead and turn on the ground power. Basically, what I'm taking away from this here is that before you power up, you want to make sure that your hydraulics are off so you don't, pressurize anything. You want to make sure the gear is down so you don't suck the gear up. And you want to make sure your flaps are in a position where they're not going to move. Stand by. Are we back? Okay. All right, guys. I don't know what happened. I mean, my computer just went black. Stupid Windows update, man. So today, I accidentally rebooted my PC and it downloaded some Windows update, and now we have a crash. That's why I never, ever do Windows updates until they're ready. I'm going to blame that one on Windows Update. I don't know what's happening. I'm rebooting the sim here real quick. There we go. We're back. We're booting back up. Everything's coming back on. I don't know what happened there, guys. I apologize. I hate Windows, though. I mean, computers used to be so much better, man. Back in the old days. Used to have to update them with a floppy disk. All right. Now, my question is, do we have sounds? I think we will. All right. The servers are the limit. No, it wasn't. I know AJ always takes advantage of a crash to dog on Microsoft. I don't think it was this flight sim crash. That was a Windows issue, man. That was a Windows for sure. Windows XP was goated. I know. Changed my mind, dude. Changed my mind. All right, that's okay. We'll boot back. You'll see how fast it loads. Hopefully, it'll load super quick. Everything should be coming back online. I've got everything running. This is good. Everything's running. So we're just gonna load back in. We only turned on the battery switch, so it's not like we got very far in our flight. Channel still has Airbus vibes. Turn it off again. Wingnut, that's pretty good, man. Thanks for the $5 super chat. That's pretty good, man. That's a pretty good one. Turn it off, turn it back on again, baby. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Are you going to stream too? I want to see how different it is. Oh, my goodness. CYYC. No, we don't want to go to Calgary. That's our destination. We got to go to Jackson Hole here. That's all right. Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Jackson Hole. Ramp 4. Boom. Fire it up. Let's go. Let's go. I started simming on Windows XP. Al W. That's a good one, man. I like Windows XP. Look at that. Look. Insta-load, baby. That's why we fly 2024 right there. We're back up. We're cooking. We're cooking. Let's do this. Hold on. It always does this little freak out. All right. We're going to let it load in. It's going to do its situation here. I got to reconnect my yoke. I got to reconnect Beyond ATC. Let me close Steam, and then we're going to give this a second try, guys. All right. We should be ready to go here. Let me do a fresh initialization on my yoke. What Jackson Hole is this? This is the not the most popular one, because I know there's a real popular one out. I don't know which this one is. It's not the popular one, if that makes any sense. Let's make sure our flight plan is still here. Electronic flight bag, request from SimBrief. That's us. Wonderful. Let's go back to ground ops. Let's go ahead and request ground power one more time. Let's go ahead and get the stairs. Let's get aft and forward galleys cooking. Let's go ahead and we don't need any maintenance, but everything else is good. Okay, reset. Hold on, let me move this view over here. I do like this feature. I found out I can have like 2 primary views now. Boom, boom. So I've got 2 primary views in case I start feeling frosty. All right. Good. Okay. Mickey G, thanks for the $5 super chat, man. Does Miss V1 love you more now that you're a Boeing driver? You know what, Mickey G? I think that might have something to do with it, man. You know, I could feel the testosterone kicking in. I feel more manly. You know, my never mind. But yes. Thank you, Mickey G. Appreciate the $5 super chat. I do feel more manly. It's good, you know. I think it's just reading the manuals.
Beyond ATC.
You know, looking at the software systems. It's good stuff. All right. I need a light over here. Take 2, baby. Take 2. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me just let Beyond ATC finish its initialization. Okay. I don't always crash the desktop, but when I do, I like to do it with 300 people watching. Let's take it from the top, shall we? Power up checklist, please. It's not a checklist, it's memorization. So battery switch is going to come on. Standby power is closed and guarded. Alternate flaps are guarded. We've got electrical hydraulics off. We have gear lever down, 3 green. And now we can go ahead and connect. All right, with that connected, I'm going to let it boot up here. PMDG.exe. No, that wasn't a PMDG. That wasn't any sim problem, I don't think. That was indicative of Windows Update screwing up my PC. Because I did a restart, it did a Windows Update, and then it was like still downloading something, and it just got wonky. So I'm going to blame it on Windows Update. If it happens again, then we'll blame PMDG, but right now we're going to blame Windows Update. All right. External model update is coming. They did say that there is an external model that is gonna, or they're basically gonna go over the aircraft and work on some more external visuals. So I don't know if that's gonna be delaying the release at all, but that is the official statement from PMDG now, that they are gonna work on some exterior modeling as well before the aircraft releases, because I guess people are upset about the external model not being changed. More power to you. let's rock and roll though. Let's get this thing fired up. All right, so now we can go ahead and start with the origination flow. Okay, leading edge flaps is fine. Let's go ahead and go align nav. Service interphone is off. We've got 3 green light, oxygen pressure, passenger oxygen on and guarded. EEC switches are on, audio panel selected, flight recorder is guarded, illume light, Mach overspeed 1, Mach overspeed 2. We need 4 minutes for that to power up, so we're going to go ahead and skip that for right now. We'll come down here. Let's take a look at our engines. We need 12 quarts and an NG. We've got 18. We can take a look at our hydraulics. Oops, wrong button. There it is, 92%. No RF flags. That looks good. I'll put you on FMC as well. Make sure the park brake is set. Park brake is set. And we come over here and check the little secret door. Beautiful. I wonder if we get to do that in the sim. I'll be looking forward to that. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and, before we do a full overhead flow, let me get the position initializing here. We'll get this cooking. Pause and knit. I do have my camera for this, but let's see. It's like, it's super out of focus, and it's almost like more I can't get the angle right. I'll take GPS left. Get that out of the way there. Put this here. Boom. Boom. And we'll do a flight plan request. This is us, Jackson Hole CYYC. Select route. And it's going to request that. Yeah, it's blur. Yeah, it's blurring out. See, and because the camera is not, it's doing not good things. We're gonna kill that camera. We're just gonna kill that camera today. I gotta figure that one out. I had it mounted perfectly, and then it moved, and then I don't know what happened. So, we're just gonna leave that. There's a route uplink. Let's go ahead and get this. We'll load that, and now we'll go ahead and do our origination flow from the top. Coming down the left-hand side, flight control switches are guarded. Spoilers are guarded. Yaw damper can come on. Illume light off. Beautiful, normal, normal, normal. Displays auto, normal. We got blue lights in the spar valves. Fuel pumps are off with the illums. No lights there. Coming down this hand side, these are on. We're on ground power. That checks. We got IDGs closed and illuminated. Off bus here. And APU, we're not going to turn that on. We'll get the emergency exit lights on. Chime off, seatbelts off. That looks good. We'll get the window heat on. We'll get left, right. Or I guess that's, yeah, left and right window heats. Probe heats stay in auto. Anti-ice is off. Electrics off. We got 4 doors open. CVR test. There we go. We got 0, 0. That checks out. Voice recorder is in auto. Put you in forward cabin. Trim air is on as required. Off, let's see. Off, open, off. APU bleed is off. Bleeds are on. Cruise altitude today, I believe we're going up to 37. I'll double check that. 370 landing altitude. Toronto, 1200, maybe, allegedly. We'll take a look at that as well. Coming across here, we'll get the logo light on. That checks. Coming across our displays. I'm going to activate the route here. We'll execute that. Wonderful. Let's see. We'll get terrain up on this side. Barrel 200 above field. So it's 6420. We'd have to hold this here for a while. We got to really spin this sucker up. Oh, it's that low? I thought it was much higher than that. All right. I'll go back. Calgary. What's Calgary? I'll look at the chart here in a second. I had everything set up, and then we had the crash, so now my additional monitors my windows are closed. I had the charts up on a different browser. That's all right. We'll set this 200 feet above field. 64. Let's go 66. 20. 6630, close enough. That's fine. Then I believe you hit the reset on the FO side, and what that does is it's supposed to close. It's supposed to take it off the captain's side. I don't know. I have to get in the sim to see that one. Everything else looks good here. We'll get the flight director on. I have a hard time believing this. They are on the auto throttle at the gate. Unless I'm missing context here in the flow. That auto throttle comes arm at the gate, which I'm just going by what the book says. All right, chrono is fine. Nose wheel steering is latched. Normal, normal. We'll go ahead and test up. Amber, test 2. Boom. Annunciator lights, test. Everything's coming up. Tapes and 8s, the old school check. Those all extinguished. We got auto, RTO. Illuminate and extinguish. There we go. No takeoff light. Those are all out. Hydraulics are not in the green. That's why we don't have any hydraulic pressurized. Same thing over here. Clock. Ground blocks are guarded. You could do the JIPWIS test now because we are aligned, but we'll just go ahead and skip that. Moving to the pedestal here. We got spoilers, flaps are up. Park brake is set. Fire test. And master caution. That looks good. Boom. Engines, APU. Cargo fire test. Discharge light, forward and aft lights, illuminate. Radios as required. Standby on the weather radar, and I'll leave you standby there as well. Stab trim switch is guarded. Flight deck door, this is in op in the PMDG, so we're going to skip that. Trims are 0 and neutral. Okay, wonderful. Reset that. It's called our ATIS. Let's see what's going on out there. Calgary. Calgary is 3,600. 3,600. Thank you. And it helps if you, when you say that you set the radio panel, that you actually set it.
Jackson Hole Airport Information Alpha. 2221 Zulu. Wind 220 at 6. Visibility 10. Ceiling 7,000 broken. Temperature 01. Dew point -10. Altimeter. Tree 008. Landing and departing runway 19er. Advise on initial contact. You have Information Alpha.
Information Alpha.
Jackson Hole Airport Information Alpha. 2221 Zulu. Wind 220 at 6. Visibility 10. Ceiling 7,000 broken. Temperature 01.
Right, cool.
Dew point -10.
It's called ground up. Do y'all not do the takeoff config check with the thrust levers? I love hearing operators doing that pre-flight from the cabin. Sam, it may be a captain flow that I've kind of omitted. I have not seen that one. There is a takeoff. There is something in the checklist that says it says takeoff config button press if installed, and it is not installed here. So that's the takeoff config test. Now I didn't see that. Let me look real quick.
118.075.
I don't see it on the captain before start
Contact tower
flow.
118.075. November 6 for 9.
I don't see
Sierra
it, man.
Papa.
To be honest with you, I'm not saying we don't do it. I'm just saying I don't see it right now. But maybe it's in the taxi flow or something that I haven't been paying attention to. So anyway, that's what we got there. All right. Let me get this back. Procedures. All right. Let's get our clearance from these people. Jackson Hole clearance, flare 357 clearance to Vancouver, please. We're going to Vancouver, right? Throttletek, what Berto? What's up, my man? Oh, you know what? Let's just do it this way.
Flare 357, ready for airways to Calgary.
Airways to Calgary, he says.
Flare 357, Jackson ground cleared to Calgary Airport. Alpine for departure, Idaho Falls transition, then as filed. Climb via SID except maintain 5,000 feet. Departure frequency 133.25, squawk 0063.
Cleared to Calgary Airport. Alpine for departure, Idaho Falls transition, then as filed. Climb via SID except maintain 15,000 feet. Departure frequency 133.25, squawk 0063, Flare 357.
Wingnut, thanks for a $5 super chat as well, man. It says, surprising you don't test it during pre-flight. We do, but I suppose after crashing a couple 727, it gets ingrained to your culture.
Wilco, Flare 357.
Most likely, Wingnut. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I know the way you do stuff and the way we do stuff, there appears to be quite a few differences. So unless it's in the before taxi, when we get to the before taxi flow, I'll look at the captain's flow, see if it's in there, but it is not in the origination or pre-flight. So Thanks for the $5 super chat, though. Appreciate you. Where's the side stick on this thing? Roberto, I've been looking for it, man. I've been looking for it for the last couple of days. Still haven't found it yet. Let's go to the weight and balance. We'll import from SimBrief, just so we get everything instantly there. Let's go back to our EFP, or OFP, rather, right here. And this is kind of a new flight plan format, which is going to be very similar to what I'm rocking. You can see our burn fuel 93. Alpine 4, so let's verify this on the route here. Alpine 4 departure, Idaho is what he gave us. HIA, Choate, Couts, Tovum, and then for the Egg Ball 7 into CYYC. So we'll go back to the departure arrivals, and we'll load this up. We planned on SimBrief anyway, said we were expecting runway 17 left from the Egg Ball. So let's put 17 left in there. Egg Ball, and then Tovum, execute. All right, that's in there. Route page, perf initialize. We'll bring our zero fuel weight over 126.7. Verify that checks 23.4. Reserve fuel. We'll take a look here at our fuel ladder. Reserve fuel is 2.23, so let's call it 2.3. And cost index at 71. It's a whole nother thing learning this too. Cost index 71 is up there. Cruise altitude 37,000 feet, I believe. Filed, oh no, 34,000 feet. We filed 340. 340, we got to change that up top as well. Let's execute in the box, and let's set 340 up here. All right. Next page, RTA, don't need any of that. Let's go back to the net ref. N1 limit. We need 26K thrust on this because we're going to be at max. We're not going to derate. Sorry, I was pointing to my FMC. We're not going to derate at all, so we're going to be 26K takeoff. Flaps 15 required. Bring in our CG percent of 23.4, 3.79. That's right on the limit, I think, right? 35, 36, 41. And if we look, 3.79. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's set 3.79. It's right there on the limit. So Turk says, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the new flight plan format. The old was better, made more sense with how we flew the plane. Well, I guess that's the benefit for someone who has no idea what you had before, because I just got to learn one way. I find myself hunting for things that I feel like I shouldn't be hunting for. I'm sure it comes with practice, but like the cruise altitude, is there no cruise altitude on that first page? I got to look down, like towards the bottom. I know it's in the FOM, but I always find myself hunting for that. Let's see, what were we going to do here? Oh, squawk code 0063, and we'll move you to TARA, and we can assume that fueling has been completed. So with fueling complete, we're going to get the fuel tank pumps on. We're going to get the seatbelt sign on. This is Captain stuff. And we're going to get the APU started. Let's take a listen from outside, and then I will try to do another one of my flows here. And we'll run a before start checklist. I think AA in Southwest does landing lights at 18. Father, former pilot mentioned at 18. I'm not sure, man. I don't know who does what. Okay, yeah, so right now is when the captain would call for the before start checklist. So we have the power to do that. No, it's not on the top of the page. I end up jumping back and forth a ton when programming the box, especially hand jammers without uplink. Ooh, man. Okay, so I'm not the only one then. Spooling up, baby. Have you been taught to walk around flow yet? No, I haven't yet, Holden. I have the walk around CBT. I haven't done it yet. I haven't done walk around stuff yet. All right, so at this moment, El Capitan is going to say, before start checklist, please, to the line. And I will say, parking brakes. And Captain would respond. So I'm just going to have to do it all for you. Parking brake is set. Oxygen checked. We didn't actually check it. Let's check it. I missed that in the FO flow there. So press test, boom. We do emergency on. Beautiful. And then back to 100%. Reset and on. Beautiful. That looks good. Oxygen is officially checked. Display switches. Normal and auto. I'm going to be jumping the camera around a lot, but that's because I'm trying to train my eyes on where to look for these items, right? So display switches up here. Normal and auto. Window heat is on. Pressurization, auto and set. Terrain display is set. MCP set, and this is when we can also set our V2 and our LNAV VNAV, so I forgot to do that. 141 and LNAV VNAV off the ground. MCP is set. Displays checked. Auto brakes, RTO. Fuel quantity and distribution, we got 17,300 pounds and checked. CDU checked. Engine start levers cut off. Transponder, TARA, aileron and rudder trim, 00. Departure briefings completed. Fasten seatbelts are on. APU is on, and on buses again, Captain Flow. APU is on a bus. Flight forms and AML on board accepted. Aircraft is Fox Lima Alpha. PED's off. We are to the line. At this point, let's go ahead and disconnect all that stuff outside. So ground ops, release U, remove chocks, ground doors, close all, vehicles, release all, prepare for pushback and engine start. Flight deck to 7 V1 shared cockpit win. This would be the worst possible time for me to do a shared cockpit because I know nothing about the 7.3. So what I do learn, I need to learn it the way my operator wants me to learn it. If I do a shared cockpit with someone who's trained on the 7.3, I'll end up trying to take their procedures to bring them. It's not a good time. Principle of primacy. Remember we talked about that the first time you learn something. It's that you're going to typically revert back to that in a time of stress. So it's important that if we miss something, that's one thing. But if when we're doing things, we want to make sure we're doing them correctly. I need to go back to first officer. All right, this is kind of a new flow. I need to get good here. So now that everything is closed, flight attendant probably slammed the door. We're good to go. Paperwork's all on board. So a couple things we're going to check. We're going to start back here. We're going to make sure that the flight deck door is secured. Then we're going to go up to the overhead. I'm going to straighten this view back out. So we're going to go back up to the overhead. We're going to get the probe heat switches on. We're going to get the hydraulic switches on. We're going to verify, that's what we didn't do yesterday, we're going to verify hydraulic pressures in the green. And it points to the ND. I guess check pressure here digitally as well. Throw you back on engine. Okay. And then we're going to make sure our windows are closed. And then we're going to go back up top. And we're going to verify the lights out. And anti-collision light is on. Below the line checklist, please. Below the line. Antis. Oh, nope, wrong checklist. Probe heat. It's on. Hydraulic panel set. Doors and windows closed and locked. Anti-collision light on. Before start checklist is complete. Call for push, please.
Flare 357, ramp 4, request pushback and engine start.
Flare 357, Jackson ground, pushback approved, face west.
Pushback approved, face west, flare 357.
All right, I'll turn up the sounds for engine start. Let me know if it's too loud, drowning out my voice. Brakes released. Cockpit around, clear to push. I get to just sit here and look pretty. Start engines. I gotta say, I am looking forward to starting engines. Mickey Mike, V1, let's hope all is well. Thanks for the 53 months of support, my friend. How you doing, buddy? Welcome on board, man. Look at the Boeing cam on there for y'all. Did Flair really paint the pylon? Or is that a livery
United
mistake?
1385 IFR to Denver Airport.
Did Flair really paint the pilot? Spicy.
United 1385 Jackson ground, cleared to Denver Airport. Alpine 4
Dude, push back to
departure,
after
kick
start
in
is the most fun
transition,
part of flying the
then
738
as
wingnut.
filed.
Dude, all my
Climb
life,
via
man.
SID, except maintain
All I've
15,000
wanted my
feet.
entire life is to
Departure
move
frequency
the old school
133.25,
737 fuel
squawk
levers.
2760.
I mean, I may not be able to taxi anymore, but I sure
Cleared
can't
to
wait to
Denver
move those
Airport.
fuel levers.
Alpine 4
Ever
departure,
since I was a kid.
Tiffany transition,
That's all I've ever
then as
wanted, man.
filed. Climb via SID, except maintain 15,000 feet. Departure
They do
frequency
paint the pilot.
133.25,
Wait until you raise the gear
squawk
handle.
2760. United
Am I going to need one of
1385.
those gear levers now, Mickey G?
United 1385, read back correct. Call me back when ready for
Push complete, sex brakes, start engines. All right, here we go.
Roger that,
Configure the
United
bleed panel.
1385.
Everybody's been cooking back there. That's on me. We get the APU bleed on.
United 1385,
Off, open,
ramp
off.
1, request pushback.
Grounding 2.
United
Started out of
1385, Jackson ground. Hold position for traffic. Hold position, United 1385.
We're going to wait for N1 rotation. You'll also notice I left the ignition into both. Minus 5C, first flight of the day. Field elevation above 2,000 feet. We're going to use ignition both. I'm going to need a block of cheese too. Yep. There's the click over. Engine stabilized. Grounding 1. Just wait till Flight Deck to Sim tells you that he's going to the Airbus next year. I wonder if they get anti-ice on the fuselage so the entire plane is lime green. Joe Plains, that would be something with it. Good to see you, man. Or through N1 rotation, fuel on. What's both versus one or the other? Well, it's both. So you have a left ignition, you have a right ignition. Both are completely capable of sustaining the engine. And starting the engine, rather, is really what it's for. Once a jet engine's running, it's self-sustaining, right? But when in certain conditions, both is used, and both is used per our SOP above 2,000 feet, first flight of the day, below 5C. So that's what we're simulating today. We're going to leave it at both. So it just means you have twice the amount of ignitions going. All right, after start, now the captain's going to do something like this, he's going to do something like that. And then after start for me is actually going to come back up here, engine anti-ice as required. I tell you what, is there anything, there's no contamination out there. Let's go ahead and save the perf. Let's go ahead and leave engine anti-ice off. And then we're going to do it the book way. Auto, 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 off. That is set. APU off. And then we also have to do trim set 3.78 and flaps 5. 1, 2, 5, 10, 15 on the flaps today. Why should you do the first flight of the day on the right igniter if all things being equal? Because right is even. And right-handed people are more common and better. I don't know. Why, Wingnut? Why should you do right? I just thought even days were right, odd days were left. Flaps 15 for takeoff. Flight controls. Oh, I did that wrong. I just got to do it this way. Checked. All right. As a lefty, I'm offended. I'm just messing with you, man. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's good. Now, let me see. After start, we did that. Captain says I have a salute. Stab trim, flaps, green light, takeoff data and bugs, jet, air conditioning, and bleeds. Takeoff config switch if installed. Hold on. Let me go back to this. Let me see if it says takeoff config switch if installed press. If takeoff warning indication it doesn't say to do a takeoff config check I don't see it. I'm not saying we don't do it. I'm just saying I don't see it right now. Maybe it's hidden in another flow somewhere. But I don't see it. So, great question, but yeah, I don't have it. After start checklist, anti-ice as required. Generators are on. Air conditioning and bleeds set. Flaps set. Flight controls check. Recall check. Taxi checklist complete. Let's go.
Taxi to the active.
Flare 357, runway 19er, taxi at pilot's discretion.
19er pilot's discretion. Tom Pascal, thanks for the 67-month support. Southpaws, 10% of the population, 90% of the brains. Like it, Tom. Thanks for the 67 months of support. Goodness. Well, the right igniters are powered by the AC standby bus, so you can check the standby bus using the right igniters. What? The right igniters are powered by the AC standby bus. Well, wouldn't you have some other indication that the right, or that the AC standby bus was not operational other than the ignition? Like, wouldn't you have an electrical recall? Slow, yeah. So, like, I could do one right now. Like, see, I just did one. I just did the takeoff config check. But somebody was asking if we do it at the gate. And I do not believe we do. Again, I'm finding out the Airbus is similar to the Boeing, in fact, that there's 327 different ways to fly a 737, just like there's 327 different ways to fly Airbus. Alright, we need to get our heading to 190. I didn't check the 7 controls fast enough to be a 7-3 pilot. Source someone who sits in. Oh, you're right. Okay, I'll do a control wipe for you, Sam. Hold on.
Pushback and engine start approved.
I'll get a proper flight control wipe for you, Sam. You are the expert in Southwest jump seats. Oh, I'm drifting to the left here. All right, let's do a proper flight control wipe. There you go. Is that better? Southwest control check. Alright, let's do it before takeoff to the line. Takeoff config, if installed, is not. Oh, actually, no. We start at the stab trim, right? 3.78, 3.79 is set. Takeoff data and bugs. 41. L down, V nav. Air conditioning and bleeds are set. Takeoff config is installed. Press. Alright. Before takeoff checklist to the takeoff data and bugs. Closeout received and checked. Flaps. 15, green light. Stab trim, 3.79 units. Takeoff briefings completed. HUD set. Generators on. Air conditioning and bleeds. Auto and set. Now, this is actually a bleeds off takeoff. So, bleeds off.
Taxi at pilot's discretion. Runway 19er, taxi my discretion, United 1385.
Wing the $10 super chat coming in here. It's thank you, man. Appreciate the $10 super chat. Says it's so strange seeing how every operator flies the same airplane completely differently. Cultural differences, equipment differences. That's not how we do it.
Tower 118.075, clear 357.
We got a here joke going on now. Thank you, Wingnut. I appreciate the $10 super chat. Mr. Left Seat Airby over there now. Appreciate you, man. No, it's packs off. Shoot. Leads on, packs off. Leads on, packs off. Look, hey, we're learning. We already made progress. We didn't forget the before takeoff checklist. All right, let's get out of here. That's
Clear
my bad. That's my
357, ready
bad.
for departure, runway
Listen,
19er.
my bad.
Clear tree 57, Jackson Tower, wind 220 at 6, runway 19er, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 19er, cleared for takeoff, flare 357.
Now there's a whole bunch of light stuff that's across the runway from the FOC. But I'm just going to skip that because it's kind of tricky to do that here in the sim. We're cleared for takeoff. Miss V1, what's up? Did you say something? Why was? Oh, I just now. Yeah, PC crashed right at the start of the stream. Did you message her? Did you message the puppy lady?
United 1385, hold position for traffic.
All right, we're ready to go. We're not using the HUD.
United 1385.
United 1385, continue taxi.
Okay, so we're actually going to try to get good performance on this. We're going to actually have to do what is like a short field takeoff situation here. Below the line, MCP and ND checked. Runway
United 1385.
19er. PA is completed. Lights are set.
United 1385, hold short
Before
of
takeoff
19er.
checklist complete.
Affirmative. Hold
It's a
short
little
of
ominous
19er.
out there.
United 1385.
3 greens. Dropping the 5 gifted memberships. 3 greens, my man. I appreciate you. Very, very kind, sir. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. All right, let's do this one realism mode from inside. Inside the whole way here. Spool them up 40%. As I go to wind view. I'm going to hold the brakes and I hit Toga though. Should ignitions be set to continuous? I'm going to turn that into an emoji. Here we go. Toga's in chat. Let's go flying. N1, Toga.
United 1385, runway 19er, line up and wait.
80.
Line up and wait. Runway 19er, United 1385. V1.
Golly, that runway is getting short. Phew. That's great. Gear up. Fly with. Man, we've used all that runway.
Cleared for takeoff.
Runway 19er, cleared for takeoff. United 1385.
Flare tree 57, contact Salt Lake Center tree 25.
1,000 speed.
Contact Salt
And
Lake Center
one,
3325,
VNAV
flare 357,
speed.
take care. Salt Lake Center, flare 357, 7,900 feet.
Flare 357, Salt Lake Center, radar contact. Climb maintain
Flaps 5.
117,000, altimeter 3008.
Climb maintain 17,000, altimeter 3008, flare 357.
17,000, he says.
Salt Lake Center, United 1385.
Flaps
Descending
1.
via flat I-5, 6,900.
Wow, we are pretty heavy actually for this, I guess.
United 1385, Salt Lake Center,
Oh, that's
radar
beautiful though. All right, flaps up after takeoff checklist. So flaps up, gear handle off, RTO off, bleeds and packs auto. After takeoff checklist, please. Flaps up, no lights. There it is, no lights. Gear is off, auto brakes off, air conditioning, bleeds and packs, pressurization checked. Anti-ice as required. APU is off. After takeoff checklist complete. Accelerated 250 knots. Now remember, engine start switches to ground. We got some turbulence here now. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful Jackson Hole. This is my first Jackson Hole departure on stream in a very long time. We've flown in here. This is the second time yesterday, but as far as departed. Welcome to Jackson Hole. That's why those mountain flying birds exist. It'd be tight. I'm assuming, Turks, that the NG far and few between, if ever, arrives at the old Jackson Hole, right? I gotta find the shortest possible flight for jump seating on the 73 for my observaciones. AJ, thanks for $3 super chat. No more the Manflex SRS Blue Airbus trash. Oh, AJ, come on, man. We still love the Airbus here. We still love the Airbus. Never. Just a little pocket rockets? I figured. I figured. How's the transition from stick to yoke and IRL? I'll let you know in 2 months. I still am just as qualified to fly the 737 as Fly Navy is to fly the Airbus. Thank you, 3 greens, for the gifted subs and for 3 Aussie super chat. These Boeing sure will put hair on your chest. 3 greens, I know it, man. Even my beard is growing back faster now. Appreciate the super chat, 3 greens. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for a new adventure for a little while. You know, I may not stay on it for 10 years, but I just can't let Full Flap Sim start accumulating more types than me. Then he'd get more subscribers than me. We'll make this hard right turn, and then we will turn the autopilot on. We're going to just kind of hand fly. Wingnut, thanks for another $5 super chat, man. Appreciate you. Repeat after me. Airbus sucks. You need Boeing bravado if anybody is going to believe you, or they're actually a 7.3 guy. Oh, man. I don't know yet. I have to go through the sims first to at least experience full experience. The Boeing bravado. Maybe that's why you guys are taking them off the end of the runways.
Flight level 340.
I feel like that's a hazardous attitude.
340, flare 357.
All right, 340. We should turn the anti-ice on as well as we go up into these clouds. Engine anti-ice coming on. I really, so I can't wait for Windwing to get an update, but I guess the plane has to release first. Really want my Windwing FMC working. Or autopilot panel, rather. Alright, 340 is set. Josh Gray, thanks for the £2 super chat there, man. Appreciate you. Did you pop in a flight deck to SimStream? I didn't, man. I was at a puppy farm, courtesy of Miss V1. I don't know if she's still here. She took me to a legitimate beagle farm, and I think we're about to make a very expensive decision. Yeah, he was streaming when I went to it. I've never been to a beagle farm. Imagine a puppy farm, but all beagles. It's incredible.
Flare 357, contact Salt Lake Center 132.4.
A puppy mill like the one you got your pilot license at? Ooh, shots fired. No, I didn't go to that. I didn't go to
Salt Lake Center, flare 357, 17,300.
Shots fired.
Flare 357.
My beagle is watching with me.
Copy.
Bentley the Beagle. I love it, man. I love it. That's a great name, Bentley. All right, we're trimmed out. I mean, look at this. You say it's not. Say things don't fly different. I mean, I'm fingertip flying this thing in trim. Just beautiful. All right, there's 18,000 feet. We also passed 10,000 AFE. Forgot the lights. So we'll go Command A, and let's go ahead and get these up. We're above 10 and 18, so these are all coming off. That's going to go off, off. That all looks good, and I don't think we need these anymore. We don't need terrain anymore. We'll throw the weather radar up, throw traffic up as well, zoom you out, and we're climbing. We are climbing out. Cooking with gas. All right. Beautiful. What did I miss? Let's go full screen. Is there an A&R on this sound set? Because I noticed the wind noise does get louder. Was there an A&R on this like the Boris pack had? there is. Click the headset. Click the headset, the bill says. Click the headset. Where's the headset? Oh. Okay. And let's get our window shades up. Oh my gosh, look at how old school these window shades are. Say hello to my new home. This reminds me of the Citation 2 had shades like this here. We used to, on the, I think the ERJ had them too. I think the ERJ had them. I used to, well, not me. Allegedly, people would sometimes take a dry erase marker and they would draw HUD lines on this. So when you pop the sunshade up, you'd have a HUD, or you'd have some profanity drawn on there, and then they quickly shut that down. Somebody got offended. Kinderfluff. I know, Turks. Do they make Turks? Do they make a special Kinderfluff for the Boeing? Because I have a Kinderfluff for the Airbus.
Flare 357. Salt Lake Center, Flare 357. Good afternoon. Flight level 227.
It's Timu after Boris ANR, but still does it.
Flare 357.
I'm with the Turk. I still like the I miss the Boris sound pack. I only flew a handful of flights before I moved to 24. But I'm with you, Turk. I'm with you. I still think, though, I mean, you cannot say that the sounds are not great. Like, they are still very, very good. For default sounding airplane, for default sounds, they have way stepped up. I mean, it's completely fresh compared to the original sound set from PMDG. So if you're someone that doesn't want any more like enhancement sounds, I think you're going to be completely happy with it. The tactile, the switches are very tactile. I like it. But I'm also using a headset, so I think they're good. I really don't have anything to complain. I always say engines louder, right? But that's just me. 3 greens, thanks for another super chat. His future's so bright, he needs shades. I'm going to have to start putting batteries in my ANR headset. I know, Wingnut. It's not good. Thank you, 3 greens. His future's so bright, I need shades. I missed the cockpit graffiti stickers were the item of choice in my regional days. Yep. Stickers. We had Vegas cards. Yeah, man. Teabag. I told you guys the teabag story, right? There used to be a lot of... Cockpits used to be a lot different. I think 2015 is probably when everybody started cracking down on cockpit paraphernalia. Mid-2015s is probably when that started going away. Maybe even sooner, actually. Maybe like... Well, no, because my regional was still cooking 2013, 2014... 2015, yeah, I think probably right about 2015, mid-2015 is when, at least in my experience, we saw a lot of that start to go by the wayside. Slow says it's amazing how picky the flight sim community is. Today, 20 years ago, all would blow my mind. Slow, exactly. And here's, I want to piggyback off that comment, Slow. So I was listening to some of Captain Canada yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was when I was driving home from the schoolhouse. But he said something that I thought couldn't be more true. He goes, I think people hate on PMDG just because they want to find something to hate on. And I haven't seen it, really. Like, I feel like our chats have been very positive. A lot of the comments on the videos, all of them pretty much have been very positive. But I'm also not in tune with Reddit and stuff like that. So I don't know. And I'm sure if you go out on, that's what I've been hearing is like Reddit and stuff, is people are like, commenting and saying that PMDG sucks and all this stuff. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like, we're looking at a airplane that is very highly simulated, very detailed, I think has a good model. Yeah, there's things on the outside that I wish would be improved, but only if it doesn't affect performance. And PMDG has already said that they're going to fix those textures, or not fix, they're going to do even more enhancement on it. So, like, what is there to complain about? What do you guys, like, what is there to complain about? You want to fly the default 737 MAX in the sim? Like, okay, have fun, you know? No one is forcing you to buy a PMDG 7.3. But yeah, Nabil, I'm with you. I mean, I'm happy to hear anytime if they're going to continue to improve. Heck yeah, man. Bring on the texture update. Bring on the little cabin items, right? We got movable bins now. I still think the lavatory door sound, genius. Genius little just, you know? Yeah, we don't have a lavatory modeled. Okay, but if you try to get in there, we're going to make it, you know, say occupied. Like, that's great, man. So, I don't know. I don't know where the hate stems from. I think it's from, like I said, I think it's because it's the cool thing to do. People want someone to hate on. And that's, I mean, because when you look at what airplanes, I can name off a ton of airplanes that come nowhere close to the PMDG standard, and they don't receive near as much hate. So I don't know. Sif says the PMDG has been an industry leader and have begun to act like it. They come across as brash and rather smug. I don't necessarily agree with you, but I'm also not the person to ask, man. I don't get on forums. I don't read forums. I don't read threads. I barely keep track of my own Discord. Shout out to all the mods that keep track of it for me and keep everybody in check. What I see are my live chats and my comments in the streams and my comments on videos that I've already posted. And 99.99% of them are all positive. So for me, I'm like, where does the hate come from, or where does the attitude come from? Also, I interviewed Robert Randazzo for an hour and a half, and I really didn't get that vibe at all. So I don't know if stuff gets lost in translation through text, you know, because when you text somebody or when you forum post, inflections get lost. What are other things that get lost? Like, I said inflection, or what's the other word? Where you're joking but you're not joking, or like tongue in cheek. Like, you can get lost in translation over text for sure. But an hour and a half video podcast I did with Rondazzo, I did not get that vibe at all. So I think people are more obsessed with simulating being a passenger than just flying the plane. Bulls, that's a great comment. I agree with you, man. Captain McGee, thank you for the 27 months of support. Says, where did they post about the new PMDG delay? So I don't know of an official post anywhere, but I have been, I did receive an email, and it was said that you could mention it for all the content creators and stuff that receive the emails through PMDG. They did send out an email, and they did say that we could mention it, that they are going to do a kind of an overview of the exterior and do some updating. They're actually going to pull some resources from the 747 team. The way I read it, they're going to pull some resources from the 747, which, in my personal opinion, I wish they wouldn't. I wish they would just leave it. Let's go full steam ahead on the 747, but obviously that's not what's going to happen. But they're going to pull resources from that, and they're going to go over some external texturing updates to the airplane. So, and that's good. I mean, great. Putting RSR on camera is one of the best moves PMDG made. I agree, Gray Shirt. I totally agree, man. 1,000 foot to go. He ignores polls too, confirmed. Turk says Phoenix also builds one aircraft. PMDG is building 3 concurrently over 3 distinct aviation eras. Something came on PMDG's workload as orders back to. Yeah, true. And Turks, I believe they work within the sim, right? So Phoenix, and there's no knocking on Phoenix, but what I think makes Phoenix's approach to their simulation is it's external, so it's easier to change things, right? Where I think PMDG, they are working through the sim and through the dedicated SDK for 2024. And again, that takes time. And like you said, there's multiple aircraft over multiple eras. So, absolutely. Truth is, anyone who gets mad on Flight Sim stream has serious issues, not Flight Sim related. That's true. Or they just are new. They just don't know, you know? Like, I feel like if you just got into simming with Microsoft 2020, if Microsoft 2020 was your first sim and you're new to the industry, or you're not into really industry, but you're just new to the genre of flight sim, you probably have a skewed view of what you think you should have all the time, but that's not how it's been. Like, going back to the FSX, FS9, 2098 days, like, simming has always kind of been a certain way. Devs have always kind of followed a certain path, and people come to expect different things than what has traditionally been the norm. I think that is kind of the catalyst to getting them angry. Phoenix flight model 100% in the sim. The flight model is, but isn't the engine model external Turk? And the systems outside of the flight model? V1 and a mirror interview went. Ooh, that'd be a good one. You'll never see Phoenix or for Xbox or PS5. Correct. PMDG is also making it for. PMDG is also going to make it for Xbox. You're right. Absolutely right there. What are your thoughts on the new F-mod sounds for the Tolus 339? I have zero thoughts because I have not experienced it, my friend. I apologize for that. All right, seatbelt sign is off. And we're going to just cruise our way up to Canada. I kind of like the jump seat view, I'm not going to lie. Let's go ahead and just stay on the jump seat view for a little bit. Beautiful. Amir isn't going to come on your stream. You'll bust NDAs. It's true, AJ. Do you think you'll try the hot start TBM when it comes out for X-Plane 12? No, because this is G1000. If you've never done development using SDKs, you have no idea the workload or learning curve. Yes. Much less 3 simultaneous projects. You're 100% right. And you guys remember in the podcast, I feel like I should play it for you guys, where Rondazzo was talking about in P3D, he could identify an error, isolate it, troubleshoot it, and retest it all within like a minute or 2 minutes because of the way that the developer tools were. In 2020, that same task would take him, what did he say, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes? And he said the same was true in 2024 up until recently, when they're getting it down to a couple of minutes now or something like that, right? So the tools are also limited. You got to think there's a lot of that. Like, it's not just, they are working with the tools that are given to them. So that should be eye-opening for a lot of people too, when you think about, working through the SDK. And if you've never, the only thing I can relate this to is, like, if you've never done any type of building or creating in a sim or a game, I always think of when I was building missions for DCS. I used to build missions for DCS, and it would take me so long before the tools allowed you to see the size of your vehicle in scale. For instance, if I want to build a military base, right? I want to build a FARP, or let's say a FARP rather, right? And I want to put a Humvee here, and I want to put a tanker truck here, and I want a helipad here. What I would have to do is I would have to just click on those icons, place them on a map, load into the sim, see how big they were, where they were, exit out of the sim, go back to the map editor, rearrange the truck and the fuel tank and the helipad to where I think they should be, load back into the sim. Okay, so the helipad and the fuel truck are good, but I still need to move the Humvee. So go back out, get back into the map editor, move the Humvee over a micro pixel, and then load back into the sim. that used to take a very long time. You multiply that over building an airport, building objectives, right? Well, fast forward a couple of years, DCS came out with better editing tools to where you could actually see the unit in its size relative to everything else on the map. So you could place a Humvee down and you know exactly how big the Humvee is and how close that Humvee is going to be to your tanker truck just in the map editor. So that completely eliminated, well, I wouldn't say completely, but it eliminated 3 attempts of going into the sim, loading, checking the distances, and then going back out and moving it. You could pretty much get it right where you wanted without ever having to load back into the sim. So that is just a small example of an unrelated quote-unquote developer tool or situation of how you're making things. Multiply that times 100 and then do it with aircraft systems, right? And try loading and reloading your flight sim, testing this thing again, going from this altitude to this altitude, right? So that's, I can only relate it like that, and I can imagine, you know, getting those times down in between identifying and troubleshooting a problem. That's huge for PMDG. Yeah, the distance tool. Chris PT6, what's going on, my man? You down safe? You been flying today? Mr. Left Seat over there. Frickin' Chris PT6, man. Of all the friends, well, I don't have a ton of friends, but I know a lot of people in aviation. Chris PT6 is a gangster, man. Left Seat, Gulfstream Captain. Frickin' sweet, man. I saw you eating like a savage, though. With it. I'm going to have to practice. I'm going to have to get a, like a maintenance can or something. Here's my concern, guys. I just realized something. So, if I want to eat my crew meal in the 737, I don't even have a maintenance can to eat it on because the maintenance logbooks are all digital. So what am I going to do? Eat on the back of my iPad? I don't know if I'm ready for this lifestyle, chat. I don't know. Would we ever see DCS World on this channel? We have a few times, and I want to again because I want to see what I do want to fly that C-130. But right now, I'm going to be completely frank. Like, we're gonna be flying a lot of Boeing, guys, for the next week now or next couple of weeks. I'm gonna try to sprinkle in some other stuff because I'm gonna have to give my brain a break. But we might go back to X-Plane, maybe see the classic, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. Might try you know, a different variant here and there. But you're probably gonna see me doing 7.3 stuff, a little bit more common here for sure. And then once I get into sim training in January, we'll probably not see me for a while, and then, you know, we'll have to figure out what happens after that. But I'm going to be using the sim as not only entertainment for you guys, but a tool for me as well. What a sad story. Pulls out tray table. I know. Gosh, that tray table, man. That's all right. That's all right. They do give you a tray, by the way. Okay, so we're not complete savages. That makes me feel better. How do you think this compares to the level up? I have the PMDG 7.3 in 2020, but I don't know if I want to pay for the upgrade or just want the level update to come out for X-Plane. Well, the level up, from my experience, does not fly, or from what I've been told, rather, does not fly really like a 7.3 does at all. It has a pretty good model for X-Plane, has pretty good textures for X-Plane. And I'll be honest with you, not even just for X-Plane, the texturing on the level up is nice. I mean, you could pass some parts of the level up into Microsoft and it would pass. Like, I've seen worse modeled airplanes in Microsoft than the level up. But as far as flight model goes, it's just not correct. This is what I've been told. So, as far as PMDG, if you want an NG simulation in Microsoft, it's going to be your number one choice. V1 wouldn't last a day eating MREs in the back of a Humvee. Man, probably full of sand and stuff too. Practice crew meals, something between your legs at dinner time, plus a random bump on the chair from the kids. The sand is the cleanest thing in there. Nice, Bomb Tech. Flip, if you're in X-Plane, the Zebo gets a lot of praise for its simulation. Now, I don't know if you're a visual person or not, but the visuals on the Zebo make me want to gouge my eyes out. But from what I've been told, the systems and the way it flies is pretty good. So if you're in X-Plane, it's free. Why not give it a shot? Sourdough Man, what's going on? Thank you for the 12-month support. Good snowy day from Colorado. Ooh. Winter is dead to me. Is it snowing in Colorado? Maybe we should have flown to Colorado. Get some snow. Ooh, I think we're across the border. What do you guys think of the flare livery? They definitely got some flare. The mint is like, reminds me of toothpaste. Minty toothpaste. Let's get on some Christmas tunes. Allegedly. What do Canadians listen to? Is there Canadian music? Excuse me, sir. Have you paid your tariffs to enter the great land of the North? Well, no. Am I exempt as a crew member? What's up, Cap Canada? How you doing, man? They listen to Nickelback. Oh, that's right, dude. Come on, Nickelback. Back in the day, was legit. I'll look the other way this time. Okay, good. I'm just coming up to get some maple syrup because you guys keep jacking the price of that stuff up. I'm going to have to give my kids the cheap fake Aunt Jemima here pretty soon. You guys keep jacking up the price of maple syrup. The good old hockey game is the best game you can name, and the best game you can name is a good old hockey game. It's Canadian music. We were just talking, Captain Canada, about people hating on the on PMDG, and I heard something you said yesterday. I said I couldn't agree more. It's like you said something along the lines of where people want to hate on someone just because it's like the cool thing to do now, and I couldn't agree more, man. How do you determine the flap settings? TPS, which I don't even know what it stands for. Turks, what's it stand for again? Something performance something? Oh my gosh, I have so much to learn. So, but Jones of Drums, for this particular takeoff, I had to finagle. I was importing our takeoff data into a calculator, and I was getting not enough distance. So I finagled it. I had to up the flaps to 15, and we had to make sure our weight was right at max limit. Takeoff performance system. There we go. Thank you. If you wanted maple syrup, you should have flown to Quebec. That's where we keep all of it. Ooh, that's on the other side of Canada. That's a long flight. Gosh, you don't realize how big Canada is until you try to fly from East Coast to West Coast. Descending into Orlando International Airport with the Concorde. Ooh. Now that's an airplane we haven't flown in a long time. It's wild, man. It's a cool thing to hate on. Yep, it's a cool thing to hate on everything nowadays. Some deserve it, but I don't think it's justified PMDG and else. I agree, man. I agree. You look at, I could name, 3, 4, 5 other airplanes out there that are inferior in many ways, and they don't receive the amount of hate. It's just, it's kind of crazy. Nova Scotia is closer to the UK than Vancouver? Really? Now, I do like Nova Scotia. Halifax, man. Best snowstorm I've ever been in. Halifax. Also, my very first RTO, real world E190, high-speed RTO. Also got stuck there for 4 days at the hotel. I can't remember which hotel it was. But those Halifaxian people They know how to party, man. Reddit is a force of nature. I'm glad I don't ever get on Reddit, because all I hear from people is Reddit is something. Make sure to update your vacancy bid. Oh yeah, Tarks, I've got it in, man. First thing I did, dude, as soon as I got access, went right into there, vacancy. Done. Yep, that was the first thing I did, man. Wingnut, man, Wingnut's dropping captain money today. Did you upgrade it yet or something? I thought you weren't upgrading until January. Thanks for the $10 super chat, man. It says, for the record, we aren't hating. Oh, here we go. Here comes, I can't wait to read this. PMDG have turned into Apple, Glock, etc., where their products is good enough, so they refuse to innovate unless absolutely forced to. Well, I would say bringing an airplane that they've had from sim to sim to sim is innovation of itself, right? Because they had to bring it over to Microsoft 2020. Okay, then they had to bring it into 2024. All the while on the back end, they're building a brand new airplane, the classic 7.4. The 744, which I don't know how much of that, I mean, I know they have the documents from the old 744, but they're bringing those into the sim at the same time, working on 3 variants of the NG. That's not innovating, they're staying relevant. You have a good argument. I will say you have a good argument. But the market would dictate relevancy, right? If there is, name another NG that you're going to buy that's as simulated as the PMDG. There's not one. So from a company perspective, what are you going to do? Are you going to spend more time and more money doing something that's going to not increase your return the same amount as your investment back into the project? I'm not saying I disagree. I'm saying you have a good point, man. You got a good point. Nova Scotians are a different breed. The winter is cold, windy, and rainy, and brutal. Yeah, for sure, man. Compare Flight Factor and Tolos porting their products in X-Plane versus PMDG with Flight Simulator. It's not even close. Yes. Yes. What version iPhone do I have? I actually don't know, man. 16? No. I think it's a 16.
Contact Salt Lake Center 128.35 exec jet 67.
It's 100% a valid business model, evidenced by the fact they own a Falcon jet. Listen, there you go. See, you don't get to own a Falcon jet by not being a successful or not having a successful business model. Put it that way.
Flare tree 57. Contact
Flash the landing lights twice if Rondazzo's in the room with you. Oh, that's funny.
Salt Lake Center 133.4, Flare 357. Have a good afternoon.
I think what PMDG put out originally in 2020 was subpar compared to the competition, but with the cabin updated, model sound, wing flex, they are catching up and just about there to be competitive. Fair? I'm trying to think back to the 2020 release of the 7.3. That was the night, yeah, wow, that was a long time ago. That was the night we stayed up all night in the HQ, and I had no air conditioning, and I was using a Mr. bottle to keep cool because it's like 110 degrees in the V1 HQ number 1. It broke the internet. There we go. Just going to toss this out there. Lear. Yeah.
WestJet 1469, contact Edmonton Center 132.75.
My problem is the update should be free. Most of the features there added bare minimum things that have been added already. So a lot of the things that they added, now this is just going back to my interview with Rondazzo. The way I heard it from him, and you can go back and listen to the podcast, was it sounded like the community wanted these things. Like little Easter eggs, more functional stuff in the cabin. That was more driven by what the community wanted. What did he... Rondazzo called it something. He said it was like fun things versus something else. Wasn't that what it was? Like fun type things versus sim things, maybe? I'll have to try to find it in that. But that, you know, it seems like those things were added because that's what most of the community wants. That's what the little kids want. Well, a lot of kids play Xbox, man. A lot of kids play Xbox. A2 McDo sends NGX and FSX. I do hear that. The A2 McDo or the updated FMC. Lucky for me, I don't know what the difference is, so we'll have to find out when I get on the real FMC, but I don't know. I want all the buttons in the cockpit to work. Me too, Bombtick. If PMDG was releasing this as it is now for $5 to $10, it'd be okay. But if they were charging 20 plus, I would expect. What are we expecting? Is there an update fee like been disclosed? Like, do we know what they're going to charge for the update? Let me remind everybody too that Tolus, Flight Factor, Hot Start, who else charged? Almost every dev in X-Plane charge update fees. Fenix did not charge an update fee from 2020 to 2024. I'm trying to think of other airplanes being up now. Leonardo, we still don't know. They're still updating. TFDI is still updating. I'm trying to think, do we have any other, this is a genuine question, do we have any other devs in 2024 that have updated a product from 2020? iFly doesn't count because that doesn't even really work in 20. I mean, it works in 24, but there's a lot of issues with it, man. There's a lot of issues with the iFly in 24. It's not native for the sim. Performance is pretty heavy. It flies great. But I wouldn't call the that was like a compatibility update. Tarek, how much was the PMDG check? None, my man, none. Thanks for $2 super chat though. Captain Kenneth says, if you don't mind me asking, I'm sure it's been asked, but what's the training like when moving over to a new aircraft? Do you get to fly it? No. So not in the United States, man. That's kind of a European thing. My first flight in the aircraft will be a live flight with passengers. So we go through. I've got my training program laid out now, so I'll have 10 event sets with an instructor and a captain before I even get into the full motion sim. So we do cockpit trainers, procedural trainers, systems training, right? We do 10 events, and then we go into the simulation, the full motion sim, and I don't know how many sims that is. I think that's actually 8 sims or something like that, so 8 or 9 full motion sim sessions, and then you have a check, LOE flight, which an LOE is a line-orientated evaluation. And all an LOE is they basically simulate an A to B flight. So instead of takeoff, do an engine failure, your hair is on fire, I mean, you're doing all the emergency stuff. The LOE flight is supposed to be representative of a traditional flight. A to B, you fly the whole thing. You'll have one issue. You have a couple little issues in there, nothing big. Then after that's all completed, you go to the line and you meet with your check airman, your check captain, and your very first flight be revenue with passengers. So just a little bit different. Yeah, I know in Europe they actually take a bunch of students up at the same time, right? And they do practice touch and goes and stuff, but we do not do that here in the States. Well, fly-by-wire is free all the way around, so that doesn't count. Fenix did it. iFly is not an official update to 24 yet, so I don't know. Now, Fenix is the only one where I will agree with you that what Fenix has done has set a new precedent. That is why Fenix, in my opinion, still holds the gold standard at the top. But fly-by-wire has been free from the get-go, so they're not going to charge for an update for a free product. That's kind of silly. The iFly update was literally just to get the airplane working in the sim. It's still got a 2020 background. It still has its own host of issues. And from what I've been told from Wingnut, who just super chat again, thank you, man, I appreciate you. Ask Wingnut himself. He said the iFly FMS is actually got its own issues. So you let me know, man. Thanks for $2 super chat. Until you can show me crisscross applesauce sitting on a desk until I see it sitting there in a holster and it going off. I love that video. Thanks for the $2 super chat, man. 3 greens. Thanks for the 8 Aussie. Appreciate you. Just Flight never charged for that. Yes, very true. There's another one. 3 greens. You are correct. Just Flight never charged for the RJ146 and F28 upgrade. 100% correct, my friend. And 100% an airplane we need to fly. We need to fly that update for sure. But you're absolutely right. Just Flight is a very, very good developer with excellent products, and they did not charge. You're 100% correct. And that last changelog for the 146 was massive. The song is putting me to sleep. I'm going to change it. Captain Canada, do you like Nickelback? Did you listen to Nickelback back in the 2009? Yeah. Nothing like a little pucker factor going in a new plane. I know, man. Captain Canada, I'll never forget the first time that I landed an airliner, my regional first flight DC to New Orleans, and we're in cruise and my brain was still at the gate. But anyway, my very first landing, I thought it felt pretty good, right? I was like, oh, that didn't feel hard. We get in the hotel van. The flight attendant goes, well, who landed that one? My back hurts. And I was like, oh, for real? Now, I think it was slightly tongue-in-cheek, but it was that at that moment that I realized in transport category aircraft, you can have a decent landing up front, but if you're the aft flight attendant, it felt way harder for them. So even if it feels hard up front, you're crushing spines in the aft galley. So if you really grease it on up front, it's probably decent in the back. But yeah, that's when I learned there's a big difference of where you sit and how hard the landing feels. We actually had a famous baseball player or basketball player on that flight too. I can't remember who it was. I don't really watch basketball, but now every time I get on a plane, I'm going to be wondering if the FO's first flight. Where is Wingnut getting all this money? Did he pick up contract flying south of the border? Well, I heard he's upgrading, so he's spending that captain money now. The fuselage literally bends and cushions the cockpit. Yeah. Are you a baseball guy at all? When I'm trying to go to sleep. Shania Twain. Turk told me I can't super chat anymore until I buy a new PC. That's true. Yeah, you need a new PC, man. I know, boxes don't bitch, 3 greens. That is true. You know, it was sad. There was a couple like really good landings I had flying freight that I'm like, man, nobody got to witness those. But then when you smash them, I had my fair share of smashers, man. Man, we need a bare metal livery for this stat. How many years was it on the bus? It must be massive change. 10, almost 10. Getting into 7.3 training, breaking. Oh, Captain Canada. So that is why by choice I went into it saying, look, I want the 737 because, number one, going to the Airbus for a different operator, you're going to have to not only learn all of the new procedures, the clerical stuff, reading the releases, the way they get the performance numbers, all their stuff that they do clerically flying the airplane. You got to learn all that new. Then you have to learn how to fly the airplane they want you to the way they want you to fly it, at the same time dumping the way you've flown it for 10 years. So you got to unlearn and undo all the flows and checks that I've been doing and relearn their way, which I would argue is equally as hard as to just learn something new for the first time. So that's why I went into it thinking I want the 7.3, because if I got to learn it all anyway, I might as well learn something new. So, but you're absolutely right, man. It would, to fly the same airplane for a different operator, it would be quite a challenge, because you got to unlearn everything that you've been doing for so long. Has learning more about the 7.3 changed your mind at all? It says design and safety. No, it does look cooler to me, though, now. Look at that. I mean, she looks sexy, man. She looks sexy. The bus is comfort. Now, ask me again in like 2 years, okay? But right now, I still got the Kool-Aid running. Must be nerve-wracking experience. I'm sure you'll have a blast with much respect. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Now, that's why they got guys much smarter than me in the left seat to hold my hand through the whole thing. So I'm just going to, you know, I get to relinquish that. What are the 3 stripes on your shoulder they stand for? Is I don't know and ask the captain. That's why I have 3 stripes. So it's kind of nice to relinquish that. There was a guy next to me in INDOT class. Cracked me up. Really good dude. C-130 guy. First airline experience for him at all. So he's going straight from the military world to the airlines. And he would ask he would ask, like, they were okay questions, but they were questions where I got to the point where I would just start reminding him. I'd be like, Matt, ask the captain. Ask the captain. I don't know. Ask the captain. Don't worry about that. He's like, okay, I'm getting it now. Yeah, you don't need to worry about that. That's the captain's job. So I will say I will miss taxiing. I loved taxiing the airplane around. It's just so much fun. I love to taxi the airplane. Remember to hold the captain hand after V1. I guess I don't believe we do that. I don't believe we do that. T-Fly 2 is a Volkswagen with wings. AJ, my man, thank you for the $10 super chat. Be the streamer that slams the landing and pops open some bins. One wire. Also, Miss V1 Beagle Fund. I know. Matter of fact, she texted me. Hold on, AJ. Thanks for the $10 super chat, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's Miss V1 Beagle Fund. Dude, I should have never gone. I should have never gone to the Beagle Farm. Unbelievable. You can taxi 7 degrees left or right, or can't you? Yeah, right with the rudder pedals, yeah. Yeah. Am I learning the max? I am learning the max as well, yes. I am learning the max as well. Wait, if you smash the PMDG 24, you can pop the bins? Is this true? Is this true? You can pop the bins in 2024 in this airplane? If that's true, I will legitimately try to smash this landing, guys. I want to see that happen. Ooh, we're going to get another sunset tonight. It is true, okay, let's do it. Let's try to smash it. I wish I would have known that for a landing in Jackson Hole, because we were way illegal. We have to be down by 1,000 footers. So an interesting SOP, Captain Canada, if you fly back to Jackson Hole, and I just learned this the other day. So our SOP is a mandatory go-around if you are past 1,000 feet. So you have to be down before the 1,000 footers. So if you want to practice smashers, head into Jackson Hole and try to apply that SOP. Yeah, we did it yesterday. We floated the whole friggin' touchdown zone, but I wanted to go home, so I landed long. But I wish I would have known that. We'll try to smash this one. We're also going to land flaps 30 on this. Captain Canada likes floaties. No, he's the no floaties, man. I watched one of his landings the other day. It was like 60 feet per minute in San Fran. Sheesh. I think the best I've got is like 200. Flaps 40 plus Airbus pilot is guaranteed smasher. Well, it's interesting, Wingnut. So we had a line guy come in and talk during INDOC about some stuff, and his first thing he said, he goes, all right, who's on the 7.3? Who's on the Airbus? Who's this? Who's that? Blah, blah, blah. And he said, all right, who's on the 7.3 that used to fly the Airbus? I raised my hand. A couple other guys raised their hand. He's like, get ready to be humbled. And he was dead ass serious when he said it. I'm like, oh, great, here we go. But I've heard it from multiple people, so I'm looking forward to it, man. What the heck? Folk was de-identified, float away. Chris Duper, yes indeed. Yes indeed. We might be able to see it again. He basically said you aren't as good as pilot as full flap sim. Listen, I believe I saw your landing rate of like 5. What did you have? You had like a 600 foot. I don't think I ever had a 600 foot per minute in the bus in 10 years. And you had a 600 foot per minute in like year 2. So we'll see. That's the floor. So I can only go up from there. AJ, thanks for the $10 super chat. And I had to pop the bins to the Fly Navy landing list. Bugle fun. Thanks, AJ. Appreciate you, man. I know it, man. Into the Beagle fun. J Long, 8986. Thanks for the $10 super chat. You will love a Beagle. She was by my side. Closer than my wife. They are fighters. Lost her second battle of cancer. Oh, man. This is my baby girl every day. J Long. Dude, I'm so sorry to hear that, man. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate you. Yes, I had 2 Beagles. I lost mine 12 years, 13 years. I lost him a couple months ago, man. And, yes, just miss him every day. But we still have one. She's a little bit older now, but she's lonely. So that's what prompted the trip to the Beagle farm. I just can't. And we got young kids now and Christmas coming up. And my daughter mentioned she wanted a puppy for Christmas. And I'm like, well, this is straight out of Hallmark movies, man. I have Christmas off, which is extremely rare in the airline business. As a junior guy, I don't go back to sim training till after Christmas. So I said, we got to do this Christmas right. That started the snowball to the Beagle farm. But I love Beagles, man. Great, great dogs. Wingnut says it was 710 feet per minute. 710 feet per minute? Isn't that borderline like carrier landing? You probably had carrier landing smoother than 710 feet per minute. Gustavo, I agree. Ground speed mini. I will miss ground speed mini. But what I will like, Gustavo, is being able to move the thrust levers on approach. So, not being able to move the thrust levers in the Airbus took a very long time for me to get used to. Because, especially coming from the E-Jet, so the E-Jet, I think, had one of the best auto throttle systems out there. When you're low, or when you feel like you're getting slow, the auto throttle is going to start retarding because it's like, oh, we get an gust of wind. You just hold it. You hold it in throttle override, and then once you're out of that little shift of speed, it just keeps going right back where it was. So being able to adjust the thrust will be nice again, because that took a long time to get over when I shifted to the Airbus and not being able to touch the thrust levers on approach. You feel that sinking feeling, and you just know you're going to smash, and there's really not much you can do other than kind of really massage that AOA, lower the nose. You never really push the nose down on approach, but Turks knows what I'm talking about. You just kind of have to massage that AOA a little bit, get it down, get a little energy back before you flare it out. That took a while to learn. 710 is borderline crashing. Yeah, AJ, box behind the tree style. Exactly. Not rare anymore for you. It was a struggle to work Christmas for me. Really, Turks? That's because you got that holiday pay, right? So my previous operator, holiday pay, $50. Oh, you worked Christmas? Here's a $50 bonus. Wow, great. Drew, you can't get your mouse to work. Move around the cockpit. Are you right-clicking? Mouse wheel lock, perhaps? Make sure you go back to settings, reset your keyboard and everything back to default. Maybe you click something in there. I've had carrier landings less violent. It was 3 degrees glide slope straight into the pavement. Flared, nose moved, descent rate didn't change. Wow. Were you flaps 40 on that wingman? Dude, 710 feet. That's scary, dude. That's up there. Delta Tango, someone needs to convince me Miss V1 that massage AOA is a flying term. It is, indeed. Flaps 40 with a 45 knot headwind. Close the throttles at 20 feet. Uh-oh. Yeah, TOD is coming up very soon, Vodka. Very soon. Matter of fact, we need to set a lower altitude here. And we'll go to work. We'll go outside view here for a moment. Ooh, we're approaching Blue Hour. We're in Blue Hour. Over the Great White Canadian North. I want to be on a good angle for the turn, actually. Let's do a head-on view. Flare commercial. I remember you loved straight wings on the 7.3. Can't wait for the Bluebird 7.5. I know, dude. Chef's kiss, Drew. I wish I would have asked Rondazzo about straight wing NG. Totally spaced on that. Because in FSX, we had straight wing 800s, right? So they should have the data for it. Flair is the Ryanair of Canada, Captain Canada. See, I had no idea. I was just looking through the livery manager. I'm like, man, this livery looks kind of unique. I love the black nose. What's the cabin service like on Flair Airlines? Is it pay to play? Is it as nice as this? They have first class?
Flare tree 57, contact Edmonton Center 132.75.
Non-existent.
Contact Edmonton Center 132.75, flare 357.
I think the cabin looks good too. Public. All right, we're gonna try to pop open one of these bins
Edmonton Center,
on landing.
flare 357, flight level 340.
We're gonna have to do that. All right, we got to go to work. Let's pause the music. Let's get everything going here.
Flare 357, Edmonton Center, radar contact.
All right, radar contact. Why is it so far? Top of descent 65 miles.
Flare 357, Edmonton Center, expect Gulf 7, runway 17 left.
I'll make that hard altitude. It's gonna mean we need to get down like a long time ago. 11,000 feet high. Great. That was at or above. All right, we'll accept the clearance for 17 left.
Expect Gulf 7, runway 17 left, flare 357.
Arrival, we've got 17 left. Init flaps 30, 143. We'll put that in there. And that's set. Before we set everything else up, let's see if we can salvage this here. I thought it was taking a while to get to top of descent, but if I just go to dang it.
Flare 357, you were assigned flight level 340. I show you at flight level 329er. Climb to flight level 340.
Oops.
Roger, climb to flight level 340, flare 350.
We're gonna switch freaks because I screwed it up. 17 left to Vitkey. I'll pin that one. And the star was supposed to be Egg Ball. LSOG. We don't have the full star loaded? happened here? Egg ball 7 from Tovum. No, that's in there. I tell you what, let's do this. We're gonna go direct to egg ball, execute, and we're gonna cross egg ball 210 or below. That seems high. I guess not. Let's make it a hard altitude, flight level 210. We're modifying everything here. Egg ball, hard altitude 210. Is set. VNAV path. And we'll get terrain up. And let's go to descent. Oh, you know what? We're 84 miles, 1927. We got plenty of time. All right. Let's do this flight level 200, and I'm gonna vertical speed us down 1,500 feet per minute. We're gonna trickle down to 200 for now. Set us up for the approach. All right, let's turn off our ANR. Ooh, jump seat view. Juice things up here. Cooking with gas now. All right. Wrong path. Yeah. I wanted to. I thought we were high, but we actually were okay. But we can set up the rest of the init ref. So if we look here, we're going to be flaps 30, 143, 109, 15, and 165. So we got to actually tune these. 109, 15. $109.15. Final approach course will be 165. All right, 165 on both sides. Let's run some landing data. 3 grains, thanks for super chat. Cooking with gas. Did someone say shrimps on the barbie? We need to throw some shrimps on the barbie. Correct. The wind wing autopilot panel does not work yet, but the FMC. Well, I alt F4 the camera. The FMC. Oh, I moved the trim wheel. Autopilot disconnect. I have control. Command A. Alright. Move the trim wheel. The FMC. I just could not get my camera to focus, so I gave up. Gosh, it's really out of focus. I'll put the trim wheel again. Alright. You get the point, though. It does work. At least the FMC does. The pilot auto panel does not. So I'm just using my Bravo, my Honeycomb Bravo, to scroll in some stuff. But yeah, kept 3 greens. Another shrimp on the bobby. Foster's. You like Foster's beer, 3 greens? I heard that's really authentic Aussie beer. I can't wait for everyone to get typed. We start seeing failure streams. Yeah, buddy. We gotta get the before start. we can't get ahead of ourselves here. We're still learning to start this thing. They won't be throwing failures at me yet. Career Trap, what's up, man? Long time no see. Sizzling Popcorn, CYYC, which is Vancouver? No. Vancouver, right? My Canadian geography is not very good. Great stream today, Captain Canada. Must ask you to use. Oh, you're talking about Captain Canada. V1, what does latch under the throttle do if I move it down? Talking about the fuel cutoff switches. Yeah. I can't wait. I think my life will be complete when I finally get to move the fuel cutoff switches. Always wanted to move the fuel cutoff switches. Any disappointments with the PMDG? Seeing so much hate for it, but looks about how I expect. Allegedly, there is hate circulating on the wonderful forums of Reddit and stuff, but I mean, from what I've seen, it's been pretty positive in the chat. People just want to hate because they want to hate. They are going to be going over the external model and doing some texture improvements, which I won't deny. It will be nice to have. If I wasn't, let's say I was not a content creator and I was just a regular flight simmer in my home that would I rather have this airplane right now and have a texture update in the future? That's what I would prefer. I'd rather have the airplane. And then, but the community has spoken and they say they want textures now, so they're pooling some resources from the 747 team to make it look better. But I'm just happy the wing flex is such a huge improvement. I didn't realize how much I disliked the 2020 wing flex until I've seen the wing flex in 2024. Get some steaks while you're in YYC. Ooh. Calgary. That's the one. Yes, Calgary. Yeah. Get some New York strips. Reddit equals console players, true. But there are a lot of console players that play Microsoft Flight Simulator. What was the number? Does anybody remember what the numbers were from Microsoft? I remember just being shocked. It was like, how many percent people are PC versus console? Ribeye strips guy. Yeah, I just answered. Strips, man. Listen, I like ribeyes. I used to really like ribeyes. That used to be my primary choice. But I got onto my own way of cooking ribeyes, or excuse me, New York strips with a smoker. And I can make them buttery tender. Because in a New York strip, if you don't cook it right, I can 100% see why people prefer ribeyes. A little bit more marbling generally, more tender generally, and more forgiving when you cook them. A New York strip is not very forgiving when you cook them. But if you cook it right, oh my goodness, man. I can make a New York strip that you can cut with a butter knife. So, and I've actually got accustomed to liking leaner meat. Fat is flavor, I agree. Fat makes everything better, I agree. But I've kind of gone away from that in recent years, and I really prefer a leaner cut. But just because it's a leaner cut doesn't mean it can't have good marbling. So get some prime New Yorks. Here's the thing. If they are less than 2 inches thick, it's not a New York strip. 2.5 inches, 2 1/4 inches, is the smallest you can go. If you're getting steaks thinner than that, you're cooking hamburger, as far as you ask me. Got to be 2.5, 2 1/4, and I smoke them. So I'll throw them on my smoker for about 45 minutes, real low temp. They get that flavor, start to get that marbling starts to break down. And then when it's ready, and I do it over applewood. Has to be applewood. Applewood, 45 minutes, 225. Then I get a searing hot pan, red hot cast iron. Put some beef tallow in there. The beef tallow will ignite at a super high temp. If your beef tallow is not igniting, it's not hot enough. Then I will put my New York strip on the beef tallow sear pan, and it will give you the most perfect crust. And because the tallow has ignited, you're getting that fire flavor that you would get over traditional charcoal flavor. And oh my goodness, man, you sear that sucker 2 sides, boom, boom, boom. You can cut it with a butter knife. So what I'm hearing is celebration at V1's house when he gets into the plane for the first time. There you go, man. Absolutely. You heard it here first. Please, V1, this is bordering food porn. I don't think YouTube will accept such adulterated cookery. I'm sorry, man. It's just the way it is. Matter of fact, I think we're going to cook some tomorrow. I normally post them in the food channel. Wingnut and I've been trying to coach Wingnut on how to cook steaks properly. But, yeah, it's good stuff. Now, it doesn't mean I don't like ribeye or anything like that. I actually we actually did ribeyes, I think, last week. And then I actually did a filet mignon the other day. Hadn't had one of those in a very long time. Just to mix it up. Flying virtual planes and food, nothing compares. Amen to that, dude. Amen to that. All right, after this fix, bottom altitude is going to be 65 hundo for Vitki. So I'm going to set 6,500. And I'm going to make that a hard altitude. Execute. And we're ready to cook now. At what point do you slather it in ketchup? Oh, Ron. About to ban you, man. New series called V1 Smokes. I'm in DFW and need some decent steaks. Andre, so I live North Texas. There is a great little butcher shop on 35 called Hess Meat Market. I typically go there because it's on my way home from the airport. Hess Meat Market. They also have one in Munster, Texas. Now, there is a really good meat market in Irving or Arlington. I can't remember. Shoot. Andre, I will look this up and I'll get back. They have everything from picanha, A5 Wagyu, like legit A5 marbling score S or whatever the high tier is. It's where you go. And you can order online too, and they can ship it, but you gotta go to the store. I want to say it's in Arlington. I will look it up. But that if you're in the more central metroplex, that's where you have to go. There's no other choice. A1 sauce. Oh my gosh, get out of here. I do like the belly paint on Flare. I do like the belly paint. Okay, so you're around Irving, Arlington. Let me, I wish if Miss V1 was here, she would know. Text her real quick. Do you have the name of the meat place? She'll be like, what? Let me see if it's in my... God, gosh. So I didn't actually know it existed till last year. I took my wife for her birthday celebration. We went up and ate at the tower there in Dallas at the Sphere. And the chef there was the one that told me about it. And he's like a 5-star Michelin guy. Gosh, I thought I had it in here. I don't have it. Hearing out, heading out V1 chat, always a pleasure. Good luck getting into the sim. I'm sure I'll be around before then. Oh yeah, man. Thanks for stopping by, man. Have a good night. Take it easy, buddy. We'll see you. South Florida is full of Brazilian steakhouses, just saying. Yeah, true. I know, Gus. South Florida, baby. I'm excited. That's where I need to be. Why aren't we descending? Because we're in altitude hold. Oh my gosh, guys. What are we doing up here? I don't want CWS. Stop that. Stop that. I'm over here thinking we need to start down. Oh my word. Level change. Keep it at 330. Chat. We're in freaking altitude hold, man. Have fun on Battlefield. Oh. I don't know if you're still here, man. I saw a Captain Canada in BF6. I sent him a friend request on Steam. I don't know if it was Captain Canada actual, though. But I was playing BF6, and there was Captain Canada in the server, and I friended him on my on Steam. So if it's not you, I probably friended someone totally random. VNAV has a button, I know, but we're 4,000 feet high, man. Good thing there's a captain. Yeah, that's right, AJ. 100%. Captain would have caught it. Magic Barrel Ref is set 29908. I haven't gone that far enough on my flows, but we're going to head to the seatbelt sign on. We'll leave the engine anti-ice on here for a minute. We can run the descent checklist. Altimeters 29908. Set. Approach preparation completed. Pressurization is checked 3600. Auto brakes as required. We're going to use manual brakes. HUD set. Radios and terrain display selected. Not required though. And lights out of 18K. Boom. 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 I know, I should have left it in VNAV. I forgot that I took it out of VNAV. $1,400 feet high. We're catching it though. We're catching it. We got to slow to 250 here pretty soon. Now I do have a 2020 Calgary that I don't know if it's going to give us perf issues or not. All right, 250, vertical speed 800-ish. We're slowing up. Flight attendant spare for landing. Beautiful. My ears hurt. Hurtado Barbecue in Arlington, not a market, but darn good. Ooh, Hurtado Barbecue. I think I've heard of that too, Turks. Not the market that you think. Yeah, there's a meat market there. I swear it was Arlington. It's gonna drive me nuts. I will find out though. Find out. Alright, we're getting ready to go through 10K. Let's get the retractables on. And level change. Down to 6,500. Yeah, into the wind. The wing flex is super good, man. I really enjoy the wing flex. Like I was just saying earlier, I didn't realize how much of improvement they made on it from 2020 until I saw this new wing flex simulation. Because remember in 2022 was also like at a really low FPS. Like it seemed like the wing flex was at a lower FPS than the sim in 2020. I don't know if that's actually what was happening, but it just visually kind of looked that way. This is much more fluid. Day 1 OE landing inbound. Okay, flaps 30. I'm going to chop the power. I want to see if we can pop an overhead bin on this one, all right? We verify all the bins are up. Should I leave the door open? Let's leave the door open too. We're on a repo flight. Catching up to it here. We're looking real good. Do a Magic Barrel ref update, and then we'll call tower here on final. 03009. Tower 17 left, 18-7.
Wind 195 at 6.
195 at 6,000 to go. We're going to self-vector ourselves here. Oh, heading bug right here. Boom. Sinks your heading. Thank you, Mr. Rambazzo, for that. Altitude acquired.
Approaching minimums.
Oh, we never reset our minimums.
Minimums.
Shoot. Reset. Three Greens, thanks for the super chat, man. I appreciate you. It says, V1, V1, can I be on your first 737 flight? You'll know I'm there as I'll be ringing a bell yelling, shame, 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 every time you touch the speed brakes. Shame, shame, shame. Oh, man, appreciate it. Three Greens. Yeah, dude, come on. I wonder where my first flight will be. It'll probably be somewhere like Omaha. Hopefully it's somewhere with a nice long runway. All right, the minimums are 3806. Went past it here a little bit. I really want my wind wing MCP panel here. Oh my goodness, I went past it again. Ah! Meanwhile, we're flying out to Never Never Land. Chris PT6. Oh my gosh, I went past it again because Chris PT6 dropped 20 gifted memberships, my man. Thank you so much for the 20 gifted subs to the channel. The G5, G650 driver himself. Thank you so much, man, for the support. Massive 20 gifted subs to the channel. Very, very kind of you, sir. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Hopefully we get to link up, man. You're in my neck of the woods.
All aircraft be advised, information mic now current, altimeter 2984.
All right, we're going to bring Vic D to the top, inbound 256, execute. No, it should be 176, right? To the top, intercept 165, execute. There we go, look at me, extending the line, chat. Come back to 180 here. Not 139. Alright, 180. I'm going to bring the sounds up some more. Ooh, flight recorder. For real, it would be so awesome to book a whole bunch of us on a ride-along on your first revenue flight. Delta Tango with the 737 Super Chat. I see what you did there. Very kind, Delta Tango. I might let us select a few people, though. Wink, wink. Thank you so much, Delta Tango. Appreciate you, man. Very kind. Very, very kind. You gave me a good idea, Delta Tango. Good idea. Thanks for the super chat, man. Chris PT6, that would be awesome. I'm down. Well, you guys don't. I mean, why? It's risky. Make sure your life insurance policies are out. All right, below 250, flaps 5. I'm loving the sounds. I'm loving the 7.3 chat. What's that? Hydraulics? And we need to arm it. We need to arm it. Ah! Nope. Ah! BOR Loke. Approach hold. Here we go. Loke, glide slope armed. Tower flare 357 on final, runway 17 left. Oh, Mike is doing that thing again because I had to reset the PC. Gosh dang it. He's not going to respond to us. That's all right. We got traffic on final there. Single channel, ILS. Let's knock it back to 160 for traffic. Hey, he's 5 in front of us. Let's do 170. Give him a little space. Wow, I've never flown into this airport on stream. Beautiful little perfect timing there. Auto brakes are off. I'll tell you what. Auto brakes 2. Auto brakes 2.
Runway 17 left, clear to land. WestJet 460.
That's on. Recall check. Alright, so before landing, check the still line. Approach, brief, complete. Seatbelts on. PA's completed. Recall check. Auto brakes 2. HUD set. Radar, radios and displays set and cross check.
Arctic 1704, ready for departure, runway 17 left.
Alright, let's do this.
Arctic 1704 in Calgary Tower.
Who's
wind
Arctic?
165 at 6, fly heading 020.
This is the longest runway in Canada? For real?
Takeoff, traffic 7-mile final, no delay.
We're eating that guy up. Let's load at 160.
Runway 17 left, cleared for takeoff, no delay, Arctic 1704.
Okay, we're gonna try. We are intentionally trying to slam this, right? I'm not trying to flare. Is that what we agreed upon? You want me to just intentionally ride it in 3 degrees? I'm curious to see if we can pop it in. Flaps 10. 5 degrees. Alright, glide slope arm. Capture, speed brake arm. Go around altitude. 6,500 is set. Gear down. Init ref speed is 143.
2,500.
Autopilot's off. Auto throttle's off. Flaps 15. Did I get the recording? Yeah, recording is on. Okay. Wow, 19 knot quartering tailwind.
Contact Calgary departure 119.8.
Flaps 30.
Airspeed low.
Calgary departure 119.8, Arctic 1704.
We'll wait on that. Man, I hope this wind. I am 19 summer 73 type. Any advice? Oh man.
Flare 357, wind check.
Oh, I don't have any advice for you. Study hard, my man.
Wind 165 at 6.
What's the winds? 165 at 6? That's not what I'm showing, Chief.
WestJet 460, exit right at Delta.
I feel like we need a few more knots.
Exit right at Delta 6, WestJet 460.
148. Oh yeah, heading on runway heading. Thank you. Alright, complimentary neck brace. Alright, remember, no flare, AA Rock. We're hot, we're hot.
WestJet 123 holding short, runway 17 left.
WestJet 123, Calgary Tower, wind 165 at 6, flight heading 260, runway 17 left, cleared for takeoff.
What, he just cleared him for takeoff?
Fly heading 260, runway 17
Flight
left,
slow.
cleared for takeoff.
Flight
WestJet
slow.
Check, I'm
123.
going for the slammer.
WestJet 1858, hold position for company traffic.
Okay, no
100.
flare.
For traffic, WestJet 1858.
No flare. We're going to ride it in
50.
just like this. No flare.
30, 20,
WestJet
10.
1858, continue taxi.
Continue taxi WestJet 1858.
Almost a three-pointer. I don't know if it didn't seem that hard. Bloom on these 2020 lights are awful. This is a 2020 scenery. Deployed.
WestJet 1858, holding short, runway 17 left.
More for butter than usual. Maybe that was like an actual 7.3 flare.
1858, hold short of 17 left, departing traffic.
Roger, hold short of 17 left. WestJet 1858.
Maybe that's how. Maybe we just unlocked how to flare the 7.3. You just don't.
WestJet 1858, runway
That didn't
17
seem that.
left.
Oh yeah, see, this is 2020 scenery. Look at this.
Runway 17
I knew it.
left,
Yeah,
flight
I knew it had this
estimation,
issue.
WestJet
It's all right. It's all
1858.
right. We're here. I think we've unlocked how to flare the 7.3. You just don't. Just pick the nose up at the last second. None of this check, close, hold stuff. All right, let's come to a stop here. Clear it up. That's coming there. Flaps coming up.
WestJet
Lights.
123, contact Calgary departure 119.8.
Contact Calgary departure 119.8, WestJet 123.
Steady pause light, green light off. Yeah, you can see the auto brakes off.
WestJet 1858, Calgary Tower, wind 165 at 6, fly heading.
Softest flare landing in
runway
history.
17 left.
Was it really that soft? Dang, I tried to smash it. Let's see.
Fly heading 260, runway 17 left.
I don't see any
Clear for
overhead
takeoff,
bins.
WestJet
I tell you what we'll
1858.
do in replay. Let me stop the replay. I'll take control in replay mode and we'll try to smash one again. Deployed. You like it, Sam? Yeah, buddy. Sam, we're going to have to get together on the CPTs. Do some studying. Thanks for the super chat there, Prod. Just appreciate you, man. Heads down. Stay down.
WestJet 1858, contact Calgary departure 119.8.
The rest of those flaps
Contact
up.
Calgary departure 119.8, WestJet 1858.
All right. Boeing flaps, especially Boeing slats, greater than Airbus. Greater than Airbus slats and flaps. I love. What is this? A Kruger? A Kruger flap? The one between the first inboard slat? It's not a slat. It's Kruger flap, right? Taking me back to my commercial pilot check ride days. That thing is sick. How it just pops out in front of the NG, or in front of the motor there. Love it, man. Boeing Superior confirmed. I can't say it yet, man. I don't know. I'm excited, man. You probably can tell. I'm just too excited. Let's not shut it down. I will say the shutdown sounds were a little underwhelming, but I've never stood on the ramp on an engine when an NG shut down, so at least some recent memory. But I was a little underwhelmed yesterday when we shut them down. So we're gonna leave everything running. We'll go right into replay mode. We'll watch the replay, and then we will purposely try to like crash, smash the sucker. Yeah, we checked the bids. None were down. We're going to park here first, Delta Tango, and then we'll take a look at it. Whoa. Ooh, shorter. That's all right. Brakes are set. Let's take a look at the actual landing rate first. I love that nose cone too, man. Isn't it great? So that landing was a 482. That was a 482 at 1.1 G. Oh man, looks like we just missed the weather. There's some weather moving in. We should have gone to Edmonton. That was a 482 at 1.1 G according to G's. Or whatever we use. Okay. Let's quickly launch replay. Let's get flaps out. Let's do all this.
Positive rate of climb.
Let's bring back the sun. Back to blue hour. Flaps are coming out. Beautiful. I gotta say, it allows you to manipulate the flaps, or the lights in this, which is really nice. In replay mode. Some add-ons, like the Fenix, get ticky lights. Alright, here we go. Okay, who was asking about the meat market? I got it. Miss V1 came through. Carnicera Prime Meat Market. It's in Cypress, Texas. My bad, I was way off. I'm not saying it right. Spell it. C-A-R-N-I-C-R-I-A. Prime. Carnicera Prime. That's where you need to go. Google that, Andre. I think they might only be on Facebook. I'm not sure. But if you can get there, you won't be disappointed. I'm sure we had harder landing at Delta 739 on a calm evening in MSN. Yeah, Turk, we're going to do it here on this one. I want to see what this looked like from wing view here. We'll watch this from wing view. We'll see if we get a good wing flex. I'll give you guys full screen cam. Oh, there is a location in Arlington? Okay, good. Even better. Well, I wasn't too far off. The one she sent me just said Cypress, Texas. So that didn't look too bad from there either. I forgot how. Gotta look under the spoilers, see if there's any update there. Alright, let's see what that one looked like from the outside view.
Don't sink.
Okay, at least we were legal on that one. I mean, that was firm. Alright, so I tell you what. Let's see if we can't do better than that.
Don't sink.
I'm gonna resume.
Light slow.
Stop replay. All right, I have control now. I have control.
Don't sink. Terrain.
The flaps 40.
Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
I have control. Let's see if we can
Too
pop
low.
a bit on this
Terrain.
one.
Too low. Terrain.
I'm just gonna go
Too
straight
low.
in there.
Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Okay, that was firm. I don't see any bins open yet. I don't know. That was pretty firm. Point goes down.
Too low. Terrain.
Run it forward.
Terrain.
Stall it
Terrain.
at 30. All right, here we go. Resume. Harder.
Light slow.
All right, here we go.
Light slow.
Fly it in the shaker. All right. I'm gonna come down here. Well, now we're not getting a shaker at all. I mean, that was like 800 feet a minute. Nothing? Okay. Well, nose landing it is. Oh yeah, pop the speed brake. Okay, here we go. We're gonna crash it. We're gonna just drive her in. Speed brake out.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate.
I mean, that was like 1,400 feet per minute. I don't see any bins. Just to confirm, you can open them. Yeah, but I don't see any. I think that's rumor mill. I think that's rumor mill. I don't see any bins pop. Myth busted. Alright. Myth busted. But you guys should try to convince Captain Canada next time he flies it that that's what happens and he needs to do. I call myth busted. I'm going to give you a long replay. You can watch the approach in there. Flaps are coming in. Sails coming on. I'm heading out. Chat, tomorrow might be Beagle Day, so may or may not see me tomorrow. Also, Thursday Night Football. We got Cowboys on, and we got a Christmas parade, so chances of me streaming are not optimal. Friday, however, I'm feeling frisky. I think we need to, enough of this snow stuff. I think we need to take this sucker from Miami down to like Bogota with a green dot. Do a little something spicy. A little American One World livery that I wanted to fly today. Unless we can get a bare metal, which I don't think we can. But I think we're going to need to spice it up. Go somewhere warm for Christmas. So, Tonkantine. Oh, diabetic lad. I think we can do Tonkantine. Aero Mexico. Cancun Tonkantine, maybe? Alright, I'll think about it. And I'll probably see y'all on Friday. Guys and gals, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the super chats, the bank angle checks, the gifted subs. I know there was quite a few of them. I'm just going to run back on here. System shoutouts. Prodigy, thank you. Crash Lab, appreciate you as well. AJ Funari, Delta Tango, Chris PT6, Red the Love with the gifted subs. 3 greens, of course, thank you, sir. J98986. Wingnut, of course, how could I forget? Turk in the U.S. Who else is up there? Josh Grayson, appreciate you, my friend, as well. Tom Pasco, Nicky Mike, Nikki G, as well. I hope I didn't miss any. Of course, Blackbird Controls and Captain Sick up at the top. If I missed your name, I do apologize. I appreciate you very, very much. So I appreciate everyone being here. Hit the like button for me on the way out, all right? Hit the like button for me on the way out, and I'll catch y'all on Friday. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. Convince Captain Canada that you can open the bins tomorrow. So if you're streaming, see if he can open. I'll see you guys on the next one. See you.
1,000.